What was that rock bottom moment for you, or that moment that really got you into recovery when it changed things for you?
There's a couple of moments, and what I realize is, um, it's not just one moment usually
Sure.
that really changes you, but there's a couple of moments that stand out when you look back. And one of them was getting caught by my wife downloading pornography a couple of years into marriage. We just celebrated 26 years yesterday.
Wow,
We're going out.
congratulations.
We're going out tonight actually to celebrate. But this would have been 2 years into marriage, so we're
Mm,
barely past our second anniversary. And she catches me downloading porn, and even though porn had been a part of my life before, it kind of escalated in my marriage just because intimacy, I think, was more challenging than I expected. And actually being married to someone challenged um, a lot of the weaknesses and vulnerability in my life and my wounding. And I wasn't really ready for some of the intensity of it.
mm,
And so I escaped with porn and didn't have a lot of tools and was kind of isolated. And so when she caught me, it was like two things happened. One, this secret was kind of revealed, but
mm.
also the need for this deeper healing and some of these wounds to come out needed to come out. So in some ways I was relieved.
Mm.
It wasn't like a rock bottom where everything was just my life is ending. Some of it was like my life is beginning.
Right.
And she said something to me in the early days, like maybe day one, maybe day two. I don't even remember because we had kind of this ongoing conversation for about 3 or 4 days after this revelation. And I, she said, boy, now I can't even remember it. She said something like, I know this isn't about me,
Mm.
which that was wisdom. I don't know how she somehow, I don't know
Yeah, that's
how
amazing.
she figured that. She goes, I know this isn't about me, but you need help. She was like,
Mm.
this can't be something that just you and I kind of manage or try to like whatever.
Right.
And so she had heard about a Christian program in the city. It wasn't specifically about porn, actually. It was about kind of your identity in Christ and your, there was a sexual and relational component to it, and growing and in your faith. And she had heard about this, and she said, I think you should do that group. And it was that moment that kind of got me thinking, yeah, I should sign up for that group. Interestingly enough, 30 days later, she went to a trip to San Francisco. And I tell the story in my book, and I've told the story on the podcast a few times. I had a big plan. I had a plan to get together with people and connect. And while she was gone, I filled up my schedule with activities. But sure enough, Friday night, first Friday night she's gone, I go down in the basement, find some old modem. You know, this is dating
Mm.
me. And I said, I don't even think this thing works. And then I spend the next couple hours fixing it,
Mm.
and it logs in.
Mm.
And I thought, wow, it's only been 30 days since that big revelation, since my whole world opened up. And here I am right back at the doorstep, literally at the doorstep. I remember I told this story once. I was standing at the threshold of the office and I could see the cursor on Yahoo blinking. This is back before Google. So you'd start a lot of stuff on Yahoo.
Mm. I
And
remember that.
I could see Yahoo, the cursor blinking. And I remember thinking, I could hear my heart beating. And it was
Oh
like,
wow. Yeah.
and I was just like sitting there going, am I going to go back to this place? Like it's only
Mm.
30 days. It's my wife's first time away. And here I am right back, um, kind of compulsively going through this, exercise to get online. And in a moment of kind of, insanity almost, I ran to the computer, ripped out the modem. It was an internal modem. I ripped it out and I took a hammer and broke the modem. And so I kind of thought for a second, okay, well, that's freedom. And I kind of felt good about myself. But immediately I felt like a dark presence in my apartment. And it felt like and to this day, I mean, I'm not one of these people who's like super into, um, demonic movies or stuff like that. But I can't tell if I was having the world's worst panic attack or whether a demon came into my apartment. It was literally that crazy. And I called her crying. She's in San Francisco. She picks up the phone and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I go, "Oh, I just got scared because I did this thing and I felt horrible, a lot of shame." She said, if you're still scared, why don't you go to your sister's house? And so
Mm.
I actually, at like 2 or 3 in the morning, went to my sister's house, and slept on the couch, came back the next day, and everything was fine. All the lights were on because I had turned on all the lights in my panic.
Sure.
But okay, that's a long,
No, no, go ahead.
but so I don't know. Was the rock bottom getting caught, or this rock bottom um, happens where I was by myself? That second time, I remember thinking, whatever this is big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, and again, I don't know if it was like demonic or I don't know if it was a panic attack, but it just revealed that just this thing has so much weight and takes up so much space in my life that I'm almost having a breakdown uh, on a Friday night randomly in the summer,
Right.
and that's when I committed to going to the group that she suggested. Before it was kind of a suggestion, and I was like, yeah, maybe. And then by the end of that weekend, I was like, I'm going to that group no matter what. And so that really started this journey for me.
Wow. Yeah, that's an amazing story. It's interesting that you brought that up because it was just 2 episodes ago. I one of the guys I've had on a few times, his name's Dr. Gregory Borse. He's a philosophy and English professor, and he teaches film class. And he was mentioning to me the movie The Exorcist, which I've never seen before, and I've been putting off like my whole life because I'm like, I don't want to. I'm kind of like you, I don't really like those demonic movies, but I ended up watching it, and we actually did a discussion about that movie and its significance, and really like questioning your faith and those moments in time. Really,
First of
that
all, great
yeah.
director,
Oh yeah.
Freakin' just passed away a couple years ago,
Oh, no kidding.
and he's got a couple other great movies to watch. Sorcerer's another one that he did that was amazing.
Okay, I'll have to write that one
Um,
down.
so yeah,
Sorcerer.
I'm a fan of his work, although I've never seen The Exorcist.
Surprisingly, I thought I was going to be really terrified. It was I think watching it as an adult, I think if I watched it as a kid, I think I would have scared the crap out of me. But as an adult, I think it was just like some things were kind of relatable because I've had some demonic dreams where I actually committed an exorcism in my dream, which we talked about last episode, where I think as a Christian, you have to be able to see some of these things and feel it and be like, hey, this is something. I don't quite know what it is, but it's something in my life. And I think that's an important thing that you brought up in your story is having that just that force, that presence of feeling its weight and its significance. Because I think, at least in my life growing up with porn, I always knew there was something wrong with it, but I don't think I quite understood like how it could affect me or how it could affect other people. And I think that's what a lot of people say sometimes where they haven't quite thought about it is it's not really that big of a deal. Like no one really cares. It's just my thing. Until it starts to affect other people and it starts to affect you. And then it's this giant weight that you're carrying. And then it's like, how do I work through this? Like, how do I,
Well,
you know?
I think what's interesting, and they say this sometimes in other recovery groups, other types of addiction type things, is like, well, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Well, then just quit. Like, what? Why can't you quit?
Mm,
Right? It really revealed, or try to manage it. Like, see how that goes. Um, You know, they say this in one of the, I think it's in the AA main text. They say, you know, if you're kind of not sure that this is true, then why don't you try some managed drinking and see how it goes? Like,
Mhm.
if you can manage your drinking and not end up in these escalating, challenging places, then go for it. But if you do find yourself, you know, breaking a modem at night and crying and running to your sister's house, may, right,
Right.
to get safety, maybe you should reevaluate like your life choices and try to figure out like maybe there's more to this than even I've given myself permission to even see the consequences and even some of the hold it has on me.